So in this episode of Book of the Beast, we're going to go over our first list review that I've done for a video. I've responded to some emails, but I haven't done a video for one yet. But this is a very, very interesting list, and I want to go over it for everybody to just kind of show, really, if you watch my battle reports, a really different play style than what I do with my orcs. Of course, I play in a pretty competitive environment, so I'm facing things like 5 fly rents, 15D size, so I'm facing that kind of stuff on an almost regular basis. And it's just the place I play, I accept it, and I adjust my play style accordingly. Not everyone's going to be doing that, and for that reason, we'll be going over the list and my thoughts on it. Okay, so we got a combined arms detachment. We're starting with a war boss with mega armor, a boss bowl, and the lucky stick. And then he's got another war boss with mega armor and a boss bowl, which he uses as the warlord. 2 units of 12 shooter boys with knobs and big choppas. You got 2 units of 12 tank busters with 3 bomb squigs. 3 units of death copters, 2 models each with rockets. A 10-man unit of flash kits, and then the Blitz Brigade, 5 scouting battle wagons with reinforced rams and 4 rocket launchers each. So everything's going to start the game in a battle wagon. Got two tank busters, 2 boys, and the flash kits. All going to start in battle wagons. They're all going to have the ability to scout, and of course the death copters also have the ability to scout. So let's talk about John's idea with this list is the cheap high AV-14 vehicles. They're not really cheap. They're 135 points each, and they're only AV-14 on the front. And jet bike teams to snag tactical objectives, so everything can scout. And the idea is to present as much AV-14 to your opponent as you can. He's got a lot of very good thoughts. It looks like he's played this list quite a bit, and I can see he's put a lot of thought into it, including placing objectives. Objective placement on a list, on a specialized list like this, is very important. And he's made a comment here: when placing objectives, the goal is to play off your opponent's placement in the great objective spammed area of the board to always be in range of the orc guns and assault range. So he's already thought about objective placement, which is very important when you're building a list. Is where do you want your objectives to be? Like when I'm playing my bike list, I put all my objectives on the opponent's side of the table, because I know I'm going to be going 24 inches first turn towards those objectives. So I put as many as I can in my opponent's side of the table. So you always want to think about objective placement based on what your list is going to do. The idea is to stay in the battle wagons as long as possible and shoot as much as possible, and then only get out and assault if you really need to. And there's a lot of rockets here. We're talking 20, 34. So you got, you got 20 rocket launchers on the battle wagons. You got 24 tank busters, and then the 6 twin link rockets from the death copters. So that's a lot of rocket spam. Of course, it is only orc shooting, so it is going to be, sometimes you're going to not do so well, and other times it's going to be crazy insane. So the war bosses go with the boys to tank wounds, of course. And tank busters are there for what tank busters do: shoot or melt a bomb things. Flash kits are his primary assault unit, with 10 models at 2 wounds each. Of course, they're going to be initiative 3, 4 attacks on the charge, all that kind of stuff. At strength 5, so there's a lot of attacks there and a lot of good stuff in the flash kits assault. So that's the thoughts on this. That's his thoughts on the list. Here's what I think about the especially when you're scouting. This list is very vulnerable to assaults, because even a 10-man tactical squad will just wreck a battle wagon with their crack grenades and assault. So you have to be incredibly careful about your assault distances and keeping track. Even a blob of guardsmen where 2 or 3 units where the sergeants have melta bombs. Even assault units that you wouldn't consider assault units, with the back armor 10 of the battle wagons, are all going to be very susceptible to assault. So you really need to be careful placement. So so you're going to be a constant battle of between range and of your shooting range and the assault range of the opponent. Because once your battle wagons start going out, what's left over really is pretty fragile. Even the flash kits, even though they have 20 wounds, only a 6-up save. So even a good round of bolter fire will do quite a bit of damage. So this is a list of measurements, planning. This is an incredibly tactical list where you have to adjust to your opponent, adjust to what your opponent's doing, and adjust and constantly adjusting on the fly on what you want to do. Pre-measure all you want, as much as you can, to make sure that you control the board. What I found with battle wagons, I played 3 battle wagons with the Bully Boys quite a bit, and they generally don't do pretty well because I'm running the bike, so I'm running something aggressive in front of them. So the battle wagons wait until later turns to get damaged. Here, that's all you're going to have is the 5 battle wagons, so they're going to go after these as quickly as possible with whatever they can. Even missile launchers, try and glance them down, whatever. So, and of course you don't have any KFS, so you don't have any invulses on them. So you're going to be dependent on terrain and terrain placement to get those saves if you don't go first. And the problem is, once your battle wagons start going down, this list has almost no survivability. 12-man, 6+ save. You got 4 units of 12 boys with 6-up saves. They're just not going to last long. They're not going to assault very well because they're just going to get hit in Overwatch. They're going to get devastated before they get to swing. Even with the War Boss, because War Boss can't take all the wounds. You will roll ones eventually. So this, I said, this is a completely different list than anything I play. And I want to bring this out because it's important thing to kind of showcase something that's different. Because I play incredibly resilient models. I play Ard Boys with Pain Boys. And again, that's the way I play. That's the way it works in where I play games. And so a 30-man unit with heavy armor and a Pain Boy, sure, that's over 400 points, but it's incredibly hard to kill. So I'm marching up the board, I'm going to take some damage, but not a whole lot. Here, this is going to be about, as I said, this isn't about survivability. It's about dealing with much damage. This is essentially what I would almost classify as an alpha strike list. Scouting up and getting everything into range that first turn, because if you scout, when you go, you actually, the battle wagons will still, you don't move the battle wagons, they still count as not moving, so you get your full ballistic skill from both the rockets and, let's say, the flash kits and tank busters inside. You don't lose a lot by moving and shooting. Of course, snapshots really don't hurt orcs that much. But you're still, there's quite a bit, even with the 5 battle wagons, on average, snap shooting, you're only getting 3 to 4 hits. Not moving, you can double that to 6 to 8 hits. Which really isn't a lot from 4 units shooting. And same with the tank busters, if you move, you're going to get on average 2 hits. And if you don't move, you get on average 4 hits. And the shooters, with only 12 shooters, there's still not a lot of dice. It's only 24 dice. It may seem like a lot, but it's really not at BS2. So I don't see the shooting quite as powerful as it looks like, simply because you are dealing with BS2. And as long as the battle wagons are alive, you're going to be in great shape. But as soon as the battle wagons start falling, what comes out is going to be very, very squishy. So the way I see it is this list is going to be start up here, lots of damage, and then just drop very quickly over the course of a game. So you better hope you can kill stuff quickly and effectively early parts of the game. Especially like major threats like, say, a Manticore. And Manticores are still very, very bad for battle wagons because they're barrage, strength 10, and ordnance. So you get 2 chances to roll a pin, and you only need a 3 to get a pin. They can still explode it because they're open top. So identifying threats, controlling objectives, controlling charge ranges. I like this list because it's definitely much more of a thinking list than stuff I usually play. Because I just play all out aggression. I just run forward and I beat people up. I don't think. I don't need to think with my list. I just go hit things in the face with my usual orc stuff. This isn't like that. This is very tactical, very maneuvering, pre-measuring, and isolating your biggest threats and taking them out as quickly as possible. before you have to worry about losing your damage potential as things start to die. So obviously John has played this list quite a bit. He said it's an optimized version of a list he's played a lot, and he's worried about, you know, Knights and Wraith Knights. If anything, this is probably the one list that those things you have to worry about the least, especially Wraith Knights. You scout, you get everything within range of a Wraith Knight. It's only 6 wounds. Sure, they're going to have a 5-up save, invulnerable save, and feel no pain. So you're going to have to get as many hits as you can. And you should, between all this, be able to take out a Wraith Knight in one turn. Of course, not all Wraith Knights have the 5-up invul save, but they all have feel no pain. Because they're gargantuan creatures. All gargantuan creatures have feel no pain. So 6, 8, 16. Yeah, you could probably get about good 10 to 12 wounds on a Wraith Knight with some average dice. You still probably get 10 to 12 wounds on a Wraith Knight, which should kill it without the shield, and maybe leave it with 1 or 2 wounds if it does have the shield. So, and the Knights are different because that way you can maneuver stuff around. You got 2 units of tank busters, so you can get around the shield. So the Wraith Knights and Knight Titans I wouldn't worry about in this list. I think with some effective planning, you should be able to deal with those quite effectively. It's the other things I worry about: hordes, like a guard blob, Skitarii drop pods. You probably won't see that. If you're playing this kind of list, you probably won't see that all-out Skitarii drop pod list. But even a Space Marine drop pod list, like I play 4 drop pods at 1850 or 2,000 points. I'm going to have a lot of tactical Marines getting behind you, dropping behind those battle wagons with melta guns, and even bolter fire can work them. And I said, once these guys get out of their battle wagons, you're going to be really hurting for survivability. You're going to be taking damage quite a bit because there's not a lot of models, and because so many points are tied up in the Blitz Brigade. So it's definitely a good list. I like it a lot simply because it provides a completely different play style than what I do, and it's very, very tactical on everything you do, from placement, deployment, movement, objective placement. It's a fantastic way to play the game, and I might even consider trying it out if I had more battle wagons, but I only have 3. So, and I only have 1 unit of tank busters too, so yeah, that's how it goes. So John, I enjoy this list. I definitely see the benefits of it. For me, it pains me seeing all those small units of 6+ save models. To me, they're just going to die very, very quickly once they're forced to get out of their battle wagons. And that's really the only downside, is if you can stay in the battle wagons, you're going to be in great shape. Once the battle wagons start dying, you're going to be really, really tough to come back from that. But other than that, I like it a lot. So that's going to be it for this Book of the Beast. I kind of rambled on quite a bit. So tell me what you think about this list, and thanks for watching.